I wanted to clear up some confusion that I have noticed around the feminine energy and leaning back. And as you know, what we're taught is to be in our feminine energy, is to lean back, is to be more relaxed, to be willing to allow the men to pursue us, to ask us out, to initiate the conversations to start with. And then it's just our job to receive him. Now that is all important and applicable in the beginning. However, I see women taking this concept way too far. I want you to notice if this is you. So I've had clients that have told me, I don't want to message him because I don't want to look too desperate. I want to give him space, so I'm not going to contact him unless he contacts me. And just to give you a little bit of context, these are men who have been pursuing them consistently for weeks, has been the one mostly initiating, and these women are still not willing to, initiate at all. So I think you can take that too far. What I want to recommend is, yes, in the beginning, if a man hasn't asked you out or done anything and you're the one doing everything, then you need to lean back and chill out and wait for him to initiate if there's any interest on his part. However, if he has been showing regular interest, consistent interest, and you still find yourself thinking, I don't want to message him because I don't want to look too desperate. I don't want to say that in case it scares him away. I don't want to ask that question, blah, blah, blah. What that is you avoiding vulnerability. And that is not something I recommend you do. Okay, so when you find yourself thinking things like, I don't want to do that in case it scares him away, or just not wanting to initiate texting him when you want to or calling him when you want to, okay, that is you trying to avoid feeling a negative emotion, having a fear of rejection. For us to ask him a question, for us to ask him out, there is some emotional risk involved, right? He could potentially say no. Okay, but I want to offer that vulnerability is absolutely required if you want to deepen the connection that you have and to really inspire him to commit and open up and take your relationship to a deeper level. And that is absolutely required, right? In order to create the dream relationship you want, requires moving towards vulnerability. If you think that you just need to feel safe, right? And that's your primary goal, is to do whatever you need to do to feel safe in your relationship, then you are actually hurting your chance to build a relationship that you want. It's actually doing the opposite, right? And I see this time and time again, women that tell themselves, well, I don't want to risk anything. I don't want to risk rejection. I just want to feel safe. I just want to feel safe. I just want to do this, protect myself. And then what happens is the relationship never really goes anywhere. It just stays at the same level, keeps the status quo, and then eventually he loses interest and disappears, or she does, right? Eventually it just kind of fizzles out because there's just no glue there, right? It's not held together by anything, okay? So notice if this is you. If this is like a habitual thing where you notice relationships never really get off the ground and never really gets anywhere, it's probably because you're so focused on being safe, okay? So what is required is the opposite, is vulnerability. And vulnerability is being willing to put yourself out there, to expose yourself to emotional risk. Okay, so what does that look like exactly? Let me give you some examples. It looks like asking him for help. Could be asking him to get you a drink, asking him to help fix your car, okay, asking him to put some cups away, okay, asking to see him outside or before your pre-planned date. If you have a date plan on Saturday and it's Monday and you want to see him, Ask to see him on Monday. Okay, don't wait till Saturday. When plans change, right? This is especially for busy people when schedules change. If a schedule suddenly pops up and you have the ability to see him, ask to see him then. Don't wait for him to make the plan, right? I've seen this. Busy professionals, when things change, plans change, and an opportunity pops up where she's able to see him because she's not doing anything, he's not doing anything. Instead of asking him, she's just sitting back doing nothing. She's just wondering, oh, is he going to ask me? Is he going to ask me? And then when he does it, she just does nothing, right? She just, oh, well, if he didn't ask me, I'm not going to ask him, right? Notice if that's you, because you're so fixated on keeping safe, being safe. Asking him, I want a relationship with you. Do you want one with me? It's a pretty vulnerable place to be, right? Like literally asking, I want to be with you. Do you want to be with me? Okay. Initiating sex. Initiating a hard conversation. Asking that hard question. Asking a question that you know potentially could lead to an uncomfortable conversation or answer, hearing something you don't want to hear, right? You will know you're being vulnerable because you will feel yuck, right? Vulnerability is like, ugh, I don't want to say that. I don't want to ask that. I don't want to really know, but you do it anyway, right? That's being vulnerable because you know you need to have that information. Or you want to. If you're thinking, I want to text him, I want to see him, then do it, right? There is no like, you guys put so much restrictions, right, on your actions. Don't put any restrictions on your actions, right? What you should be concerned about is why you're taking the action or why you're not taking the action, right? If you're not texting him because you're afraid, that is you trying to be safe. On the other hand, you are texting him, but you're not really being vulnerable. Like you're not asking to see him, you're just texting him or trying to like work around the situation, right? Dropping hints. I see women do this. They drop hints instead of asking directly, I want to see you, right? That is also another version of you not being vulnerable. Being vulnerable is literally you'll feel the ick, yuck feeling and then just doing it, asking that hard question, like saying the hard thing, and it's clear and simple what exactly you're asking of him. That feeling exposed, you will literally feel exposed, right? That's what I encourage you to do more of, not the other kind. When we put ourselves out there, there's a potential for him to say no, but what is the alternative? Okay, so you asked to see him tonight, he says no, well, you just end up back where you started. You weren't going to see him anyway. But on the other hand, if you at least asked, then there could have been a potential, a chance that you could have saw him sooner. You could have like potentially deepened your relationship so much faster because you saw him now instead of waited a week. Worst case scenario is losing out on the chance of it developing into something. And I will say, if you're not willing to be vulnerable, then what are you doing? Like you're wasting his time and you're wasting your time, right? Don't do that. Don't be one of those people that go out there and date and say they want all these things and yet are not willing to really put themselves out there. Where are you being too concerned with being safe that you're not willing to be vulnerable? And if you're not willing to be vulnerable, then you should not be dating. You have no business dating if you're not willing to be vulnerable. If you are tired of struggling with men and really want to fast track your progress to having the relationship that you want, then you may want to consider working with me, and we will work together one-on-one and help you build the love life that you want. I will teach you everything I know on how to be the most irresistible and most desirable woman you can be, so you can attract high quality men, get them pursuing you, chasing you, and begging to commit to you into a relationship. So if that sounds like you, just go to the link below, book a call with me, and we'll sit down and map out a plan for you. So that's all from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment, like me, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any video ideas that you have for the future, and I will definitely help you out some more. And that's all from me. I'll talk to you real soon.